everyone. VCRC is Vector Control Research Center, which comes under Indian Council of Medical Research in terms under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The mission statement of VCRC is to make the nation free from vector-borne diseases. So we work at VCRC on major vector-borne diseases like filaria, malaria, dengue, chikungunya, Japanese encephalitis, leishmaniasis, KFD, Castle Forest disease, Zika, yellow fever, typhus fever, scrub typhus, particularly tick typhus, etc. So, as we continue our research on basic as well as applied, and of late we are even going to a molecular level to diagnose the infections of various vector-borne disease. Today, particularly under Vigyan Bharati, Vidyarth Vigyan Mathan, coming under National Council of Educational Research and Training, Ministry of Education, Government of India. We have bright minds with a scientific aptitude from the student community who are the district level winners of the competition, which is held elsewhere for 23 to 24. So those district level winners are pulled together from different parts of Puducherry as well as Tamil Nadu, and they are now visiting VCRC to know the various activities of our center. So in this exhibition, we have displayed the major vector life cycle, their breeding habitats, their diseases caused by them, and also the control measures. Like especially we have put the life cycle of the mosquito which causes filariasis. The chronic form of this filariasis is called elephantiasis. Then we also have Anopheles mosquito life cycle with explanation of all vector and disease. We also have some dengue, especially the dengue is the current issue as we anticipate rain and we tend to get more cases. So we are giving a very good awareness to not only VCRC visitors, we go outside and we check door by door the dengue breeding sources. If we find any positive container for larva or pupa, we then immediately invert them or suggest them how to keep the things which is not further enhancing the breeding habitats. We also have here some of the tick and mite borne, though they are not mosquito vector, but they are the insect vector like ectoparasites, which usually live on the rodents or dog or other animals, where they are called ectoparasites, where they suck the blood and they survive. Supposing if a mosquito is taking blood from the rodent, and if the rodent is having a type of bacteria called Rickettsia species, it takes up the bacteria along with the blood meal, then it keeps it for some time within it, and then when it goes to the second blood meal to second person, it transmits this bacteria to second person. So it acts as a vector for bacterial disease, which leads to typhus fever. Typhus, there are 3-4 types are there. One is scrub typhus, which is caused by a vector tick. Another one is tick typhus, which is caused by tick. And another is louse typhus, which is caused by head louse. And we also have a plague, which is also by the vector flea. Tamil Nadu Tellu Puchinwanga. So a flea is acting as a vector for plague, and it transmits bacteria Yersinia pestis. And we also have some of the biocontrol agents. Considering the disadvantage of insecticides, we tend to give awareness to biocontrol agents like fishes, which are the predators, which can act as a which can take up the mosquito larvae as a feed or as food, and by that we can kill or we can reduce the larval population. So they feed on the larvae. So there it acts as a biolarvicide, especially the predators, fishes like Gambusia affinis and Passiola. They are the two major, though they are very smaller or ornamental fish. They can be easily released into ponds or smaller water bodies so that they feed on the mosquito larvae and reduce the larval population. We also have one major biocontrol agent, which is Toxorhynchetus plantans, which is called elephant mosquito or a giant mosquito, which usually is surviving or maintaining its life cycle in wild places like forests or very dense places, but they are actually, though they look very big and all, they don't require blood for its egg laying or for its survival. They are non-nematophagous, means they don't need blood. They can feed on other nectars, honey, or syrup, or fruit sap, like that. But we found that those larvae, the Toxorhynchus pendens adult larvae, can be used as a biocontrol agent for major vector-borne disease larvae like Culex, Anopheles, and Aedes. And we also have the microscopic examination, like slides with filarial parasite and slide with malarial parasite, the Sison stage. And also we have one more biocontrol agent, which is a bacteria. Like the fish, they are macro control. Bacteria is micro control agent. This bacteria we grow, they produce crystal toxins. They are spore formers. So as and when they produce spore, they produce crystal toxins. And that toxin, when it is made into a formulation, that formulation will have that crystal toxin will be taken or fed by the mosquito larvae like a food. It goes onto the gut of the mosquito larvae, and it acts, it leads to the imbalance of the gut epithelial, the imbalance of the ionic imbalance happens because they affect the gut epithelial cells. So when there is ionic imbalance, the mosquito larvae cannot survive further. So it is leading to death. So we have a very good bacterial agent called Bacillus thuringiensis varicesiensis, which is our own bacteria we isolated from Puducherry, which is now considered as a standard for any other formulation developed by company. We test keeping our BTI, Bacillus thuringiensis varicesiensis, as a standard. So now we are also trying to produce them in larger quantity, do some evaluations, and we are going to use them in larger field habitats. So I think with this, there are also some charts which are explaining the life cycle, which are explaining how to prevent the bite, and the breeding sites, especially reference to dengue, is also displayed. And students are very interestingly coming and asking they are very bright, they ask many questions, and within the time allotted, we are trying to give them maximum information. And I am sure that this exhibition will be of very much useful to the students for their further, like they can become more enlightened, or they can become more knowledgeable, and they can be more useful for their further career. So I'm happy that we are able to explain this vector-borne disease, which generally is not very poor in their awareness, especially dengue. We find that nobody is knowing what is larva and pupa. So this will create awareness in the young minds for their own input in and around their house to control the breeding size of these vector-borne disease larval stages. So I'm sure this will be of very much useful for them. Thank you.